Sophie's Books, an original story by Laura Lee Epp with illustrations by Cherish Epp. One day, Sophie was playing with her dolls when her mom called out, "Sophie, it's time to go to library story time." Yippee, thought Sophie. I love library story time. Sophie had a great time at the library. She listened to the Rotary readers read her some books, and she made a fantastic glittery craft with Mrs. F. When story time was over, Sophie grabbed her library bag and filled it full of library books. She chose some princess books, some little critter books, and some other stuff. When Sophie and her mom got home, Sophie's mom asked, "Well, Sophie, what would you like to do now?" Sophie said, "I want to read my library books." "Okay," said Sophie's mom. "Which book would you like to read first?" Sophie said, "I would like to read 6 books about princesses, 5 books about little critter, and 2 books about Jilly and Jigs." "What?" said Sophie's mom. "My goodness, that is a lot of reading." "Yes, it is," said Sophie, "but I'm ready, so let's go." And she handed her mom Princess Book number 1. The next day, Sophie was playing with her dolls again when her mom called out, "Sophie, it's time to go to nursery school." "Oh, good," thought Sophie. "I love nursery school." So Sophie and her mom got in the car and went to nursery school. When nursery school was almost over, Sophie grabbed her backpack and filled it full of books. She chose some Robert Munch books, some Stella books, and some other stuff. When Sophie and her mom got home, Sophie's mom asked, "Well, Sophie, what would you like to do now?" Sophie said, "I want to read my books." "Okay, what books would you like to read?" asked Sophie's mom. Sophie said, "I want to read 8 Robert Munch books, 4 Stella and Sam books, and 6 Fancy Nancy books." "What?" said Sophie's mom. "My goodness, that is a lot of reading." "Yes, it is," said Sophie, "but I'm ready, so let's go." A few days later, Sophie was looking at some of her princess books. Sophie's mom walked by just as Sophie gave out a big sigh and slammed her princess book shut. Sophie's mom said, "Sophie, would you like me to read you a princess story?" Sophie looked up at her mom with a very grumpy face and said, "No, no, no, no. No princess stories." Said Sophie's mom. "Would you like me to take you to the library to get some new books?" This time, Sophie looked up at her mom with a frowny face and said, "No, no, no, no. I don't want to go to the library." Said Sophie's mom. "Would you like to go to nursery school today to get some new books?" This time, Sophie looked up at her mom with an angry face and said, "No, no, no, no. No nursery school." Sophie's mom was getting angry. She said, "Sophie, I don't know what the problem is." Sophie looked up at her mom with an annoyed face and said with a huff, "The problem is I'm getting all these books and I'm going to story time and nursery school and nobody is teaching me how to read yet." "That's what the problem is." Sophie's mom smiled and said, "Ah, I see. You do have a problem, but I can help." The next day, Sophie's mom took Sophie to the library and said, "Mrs. Epp, do you have any books about letters and the sounds they make? Because Sophie would like to learn how to read."